so Wall Street's saying, well, now that you're going to let it rip, you'll be over it in a few weeks, and they reopen to travel. People are going back to China, et cetera. No, I mean, those things are happening, but China, first of all, the 8 to 10 weeks, and I identify this based on the work of an Israeli statistician who in early 2020, I mean, he had this evidence at the beginning, and this guy said, I'm not an epidemiologist and I'm not a virologist, but I'm really good at statistics. He had a PhD in statistics. And I studied, the Milan outbreak and Seattle and all these outbreaks. And he said they run 8 to 10 weeks. They just do. It's kind of a bell curve. It peaks and then it comes off the top. And it was a very valuable predictive analytic tool throughout the whole thing, because you could say, when Delta hit in December 2020, I said it'll be over by February, and it was. And when Omicron hit a year later, I said it'll be over by February, and it was. But the problem with that's a good tool, but that's in a locality, New York City or Milan or London, et cetera. But that doesn't mean it won't pop up in another locality with its own 8 to 10 week run and keep going around the country. And that's what Wall Street's missing. They're like, oh, this thing will be over by February. Well, maybe in Shanghai or Ningbo, but it hasn't really got to the countryside yet. And it will this week, or will, right about now, because it's their big Chinese Lunar New Year. And they haven't been able to go home, back to the village, so to speak, for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Well, now they are, because the travel restrictions are off. Well, guess what? They're going to take COVID with them. And so maybe 8 to 10 weeks in a locality doesn't mean that hundreds of thousands of people don't die, but that's going to keep popping up all over the country. So this is going to last a year or more, number one. That's if it doesn't, the virus mutates, we know that, but often the mutation is to a more harmless form, but not always. And it can mutate into a more lethal, contagious form. And there's something called recombination, where the DNA of two different strains actually merge and you get kind of a super version of the bug. And then heaven help us if that goes around the world again, and we're back where we were in 2020. I'm not making that as a hard forecast, but it's the kind of thing that you need to understand and be aware of if you're going to just say Goldilocks. So the Chinese reopening story is a myth, at least in the short run. They've got problems that have nothing to do with COVID. Real estate collapse, too much debt, demographic problems, et cetera, corruption, and a lot else besides. Europe, what can you say? I mean, they made their energy policy completely dependent on Russia. Russia's cutting. We're cutting Russia off now. Russia's cutting you off. Good luck. Now they've got a little bit of a break. The weather has been mild. It hasn't been as bitter, but it's only it's still got 2 months to go. I think winter's coming, and the war's not going to be over soon. So you're looking at a global recession, a severe one. Powell's making it worse with his interest rate hikes. They'll get inflation under control, but for all the wrong reasons, which is we're in a really bad recession.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.